What is happening, champions? Here we are once again in my JagdTiger, and this time we're on Severogorsk. Now, this isn't a really super great sniper map, but I do get into a position that allows me to snipe, and when I do, that's when I turn the tide of the match, because that's what this tank is. It's got that amazing gun, the 88mm, that allows you to do a massive amount of damage over time because of how fast it fires. Because of the raw DPM of this gun, you can just wreck tier 8 tanks like none other. And the most you're ever going to see is tier 9. As you will see, we are actually in a tier 8 match this time, but because this thing gets preferential matchmaking, you will never see tier 10 tanks, which is awesome, because there are some things about this tank that just aren't quite up to spec for a tier 10 match. But because of the preferential matchmaking, like I said, all you're going to see is tier 9s, and we're not even going to see them in this match. But what you will see is something pretty cool. This was something I'm really proud of. During the process of this match, you will see me come up against this T34 and win. We both have 100% health. He gets the first shot off, and we both penetrate each other every time. But because of the raw DPM of my gun, I beat him out and I win. And that is really, really important to me. And I mean, it's really just a classic example of somebody who doesn't quite know the strengths of their tank. I mean, if he had found a hill to hide behind and used that amazing frontal turret armor, I don't think I would have beat him. But because he penetrates me every time and I'm allowed to penetrate him every time, I win the battle. So it kind of shows you just how powerful the JagdTiger 8.8 can be as a tier 8 premium. And we're talking about a T34 here. It's got one of the highest alpha damage cannons in its tier for a heavy tank. So we'll get to that part later, but right now we're kind of do some I wanted to get up closer to the mountain over here and do some sniping, but we're going to end up doing some right here. This is where I make it to. The speed isn't incredible on the JagdTiger, so, and this is kind of a boring start, so I may speed it up a little bit unless we get a shot on somebody. I'm not seeing anything. Nobody wants to come out and tempt fate. I mean, look at this. There's already a dead tank right here. They know damn well that this is Death Alley right here. So I don't blame them for not coming out. But you'll watch on our eastern flank here, we're going to fail. They're going to get up on this mountain and they're going to start coming down. And that's how I take my first shot from the T34. Speed it up. Of course, we got the guy in chat who thinks he's fucking the commander of the battlefield. He needs to tell everybody we're all retards and that he needed help and he died first, so that we're all stupid. And that's exactly how it goes in these higher tiers. Having trouble getting a shot on anybody. Yeah, like I said, kind of a boring start, but it's later that I really pull out that clutch gameplay and save the game for the team. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying that's what happens. If you're keeping your eye on the eastern flank, they're coming. Here comes the T-34, and there's a tank destroyer up on the sniper spot I eventually get to. And here we go. It's a Hellcat. But I'll notice the T-34 in just a second. He'll appear on my mini-map, and I'll start turning to get a shot on him, and he'll put one into me. There he is. And boom. So he gets the first shot off on me, but remember my incredible DPM. And he allows me to shoot at his lower hull, which is his biggest mistake. And I'm going to penetrate every single shot that I get on it. Look at that. Just the raw DPM of this gun. And I think at this point he knows he's pretty fucked. He's trying to rush me, but... And watch this. Try to angle my armor. He ends up blowing off my tracks. And that may have saved me right there, but got the last shot off on him and I won. Tier 8 Premium versus Tier 8 Premium, and the JagdTiger 8.8 comes out on top. So keep that in mind if you're willing to spend the money to buy a Tier 8 Premium. And like I said before, it was just a failure to use the strengths of his tank. If he had found a hill to cover up his lower hull or some kind of cover, he probably would have beat me, because he was getting a penetrating hit every time. He was probably aiming, for that lower glacis. If he had set me on fire, I have an automatic fire extinguisher, but if he had set me on fire and I didn't have one, probably would have beat me, but it just didn't happen for him. So sadly for him, I won in that situation. So now we're going to get up to my sniper spot, and this is where the enemy makes their biggest mistake. You do not allow this tank to get itself in a sniper position, because it is just absolutely deadly. Absolutely accurate, great penetration, amazing rate of fire, and that damage adds up very, very quickly. Here you go. This is my position. They have to shoot up to hit me. I can cover up my lower hull with the mountain, and I can really put this gun to work. So there was my second kill. T34 E5, not hard to kill. And the score is 11-8, by the way. It's not really down to the wire yet. Just waiting for somebody to show their face. We do have a heavy tank up on that hill that I can't see. I believe that's the KV-5. Can't be anything else. Trying to take a blind shot. It's probably not going to work, especially if it's a KV-5 and he's got the armor to resist my shots. So this was a bit stupid. Kind of a waste of ammo. There he is. As you can see, none of those hit. None of those did any damage. There we go. Now we're putting some damage into him. And look at that. There's no way he knows where I'm at. SU-12244, watch this. Knocks the tracks off. Gives me a beautiful second shot. And we take him out. That was really, that was pretty lucky. Hitting the tracks and knocking him off. I needed 2 shots to put him down, and I was given the 2 shots. There we go. Take the T29 out, easy as pie. Have I got any kind of shot on this KV-5? I did for a second, so I took a blind shot there. And I know I'm spamming the fire a little bit. I probably shouldn't be firing as much as I am, but with the rate of fire and the ammo capacity in the JagdTiger 8.8, you can afford to do that a little bit. Trying to get some kind of shot on this KV-5. He's a pretty dangerous opponent with 3 kills. I am repositioning here, but now I've realized that maybe repositioning isn't such a good idea. I'll go back to my spot, see if I can get a shot on him. And that's one of the only problems with your JagdTiger, is you really have to plan where you're going before you try to go there. Trying to get some kind of shot on him, maybe on the commander's caps up there on the top. It's got 2 of them. One of them might be a machine gun port or turret. He's turned. As long as I can hit the side of the turret, I'll go through. T25-2 is doing really good. There we go. Take him out. So now all that's left is the S51. I thought I had seen the S51 over there, so I took a blind shot. There he is. Take him out of play. There's 6 kills. Top Gun. The JagdTiger, as it deserves to be, on top of a hill, given a sniper position, and he will just rain down fire on your enemies. So let's go ahead and go to the after battle results screen. Well, there you go, and a good match in the JagdTiger 8.8 CM Pack 43. Awesome tank. If you let that tank get into a sniper position, it is just the most deadly tank ever. I mean, the DPM is superior to pretty much everything in that match, especially if it's a tier 8 maximum match. The T34 is another premium tank, and as you saw in that fight, we just traded blows. He penetrated me every time, I penetrated him every time, and my DPM actually beat his, and I won. So I got that fight, I killed him. I was on very low health, but I beat him out. So the Pack 43 JagdTiger, and I mean that's if he penetrates every time. If I had done more to angle, if I had done more to cover up my lower plate, then maybe he wouldn't have even penetrated me. But the same thing goes for him. If he had done more to cover up his lower hull, then I wouldn't have penetrated his turret. So there you go, the Pack 43 JagdTiger. Like I said, they just let me get up on that hill and rain down hell on them, and it really was a bad idea for them to do that. As you saw at the end of the match, that's when I pulled out the clutch gameplay and started taking out tanks one by one, and that's how I got my Top Gun. 111,491 credits, 3,176 experience, doubled for the first victory of the day. On the SU-122-44, we destroyed the track. That was a nice clutch moment. Just snuck over, just quickly turned over. That's what it was. Quickly turned to the left, took the shot, knocked off his tracks, and that allowed me to get my second shot, which killed him. The S-51 knocked out the fuel tank, destroyed the track, and the T34-85 destroyed the fuel tank. Team score, 2,986 damage done that match, 6 kills, 1,059 experience with a Top Gun. And 93,000 credits made for that. It is a premium tank, plus I got 25,000 for the event, so 93,000 credits. Huge credit income. 31 shots fired, 17 direct hits, 16 penetrations. So I didn't have the best accuracy in that match, but I was taking some wild shots, and that really was to be expected. This is pretty rare to see. Hits received 3, penetrations 3. So this really isn't a typical type of JagdTiger. The only thing that's really typical of it is the high amount of shots, but usually you have a high amount of hits. I just wasn't being very accurate with it, but the shots I did fire hit, the shots that did hit did good damage. They were clutch shots, and they took the key players out of the game. So it was, I felt like it was a very good game. But right here, this is where it gets strange. Hits received 3 and 3 penetrations. Usually you can keep that JagdTiger's hull angled and keep him from hitting your lower plate, and you get a lot more bounces and non-penetrations in this. So this is pretty strange to see this. Plus you always see artillery firing at you, so you usually get splash damage. So very strange to see. 92,785, and it was a good match. So there you go, the JagdTiger 8.8 Pack 43 CM. If you liked the video, leave me a like, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Take it easy, gents.